Hello guys. Um Came to do a video today. Um it's been a minute, but it's been a lot on my mind. But I really wanted to come and make this particular video. Um you know, man, it's been so much going on with dating. It's been so much going on with, as we know, black male female relationships. That's been going on for a while. Um, I can't really say I know fully where we are. Um, I do seem to see a few things changing, but at the same time, there's still a lot of that old stuff that's out there that's still going on, still going strong, and still making an impact. Um, And the perspective I wanted to come from today is, you know, for those women, for those single black heterosexual women, because I'm starting to see I also have to start making a differentiation. I can't just say women anymore. Um, so those single women, single heterosexual women is basically who I'm speaking to. We got so much going on. This 4B West movement or West 4B movement is still a thing. I have spoken about that, this movement. Um, for the most part, my 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 mind is still pretty much the same in what I spoke about, in that I'm still looking for the end goal, is really what I was saying. I didn't, necessarily discourage anyone from being in it or being a part of it, anything, because honestly, there's a lot that I actually agree with. Like, it really is. Um, some of the ideology, the concept, all of that, a lot of that I agree with. Some of the reasoning behind it, I agree and I don't agree. Now, I do feel like, and I'll probably make another video about that. I do feel like, though, that I have figured out the agenda, the end goal. I really do. But as I said, I'll get into that. But right now, I kind of want to talk to, as I said, the single heterosexual women out there who are still choosing to date. Um, like I always say, I encourage women to be very careful. I encourage women to be mindful. I encourage women to be aware. I encourage women to wait and not be so quick to, not to necessarily not date, but to be very slow about the meeting of people. Or if you have hopefully met out and about, seem like everybody got social anxiety and they ain't doing that. But if you are doing that, then, I think in a lot of ways that is kind of the best way. But we still know online dating is a really big thing. Um, the wind here is going crazy. So hopefully you guys don't hear all that. Uh, but yeah, that wind is going crazy out there. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Um, but all of that is my advice. Be careful, be slow, be precise, be aware, be conscious of what you're doing, who you're dating, everything. And one of the reasons I want to bring that up is because, we have a lot of new men that are here in America, from a lot of other countries. They're here. Depending on Trump or Biden, they here to stay or maybe here not to stay. I don't know. So I'm not even going to get into that part. But at the end of the day, one of the things that we need to realize as women, single dating women, is the fact that, you know, we're already dealing with our own share of misogyny and our own share of the patriarchy, our own share of red pill manosphere and, men hating women and, especially us black women, we're dealing and still dealing with our own men dogging us out and, speaking just horribly about black women for many years. This has been going on. It's not a bash, it's just the truth. Now, the thing that we need to look at and realize is that, you know, the way that, the way the United States was, um, has kind of been, the women kind of outweighed the men in a lot of ways. There's a lot more women than men, like 3 to 1, I think, at one point or something. And but in a lot of other countries, especially the further east you go, the Africas, the China, the Japan, like all those Eastern country, Middle East, and all that. A lot of those countries are like really, really dominated by men. Um, I know y'all know I like to just quick sidebar. Y'all know I like to look at travel videos and documentaries and things like that. And it's amazing to me sometimes when I look at these videos and it's over in the Middle East or this country or whatever in parts of Africa and everything. And I just see so many men. And, for one who, has not as yet traveled out of the country, I'm still aiming to do that. Um, it's it's weird for me to see that. I'm just gonna be honest, like it really is. And a lot of times I look at all these videos and stuff and I'm like, where are the women? You know? Um, and we also have to look at the fact that, in my opinion, the further east that you go, in my opinion, it seems to be still very, very male oriented, very, very well male dominated, of course, and very, very, the women are very much oppressed, in my opinion. The further east you go, those men are different. They really are. They're really, really different. And these countries where a lot of these men have now come to the United States are a lot of those Eastern countries. And one of the main things that we have to look at, realize, and remember, especially in dating, is that, of course, we know America has a large single women population. American men just really aren't marriage minded. They aren't marriage focused. I'm not going to go into the reasoning behind that because that would be another video. But then there's a reputation of American women. We're difficult, we're hard to get along with, and we don't listen, we don't do this, and we're not cooking dinner and cooking food and submitting and bowing down and kissing feet. And American men have problems with that. So, we got the passport bros, we've had white men and so forth who have been for decades going outside of the country, dating other women, mail order brides, and things like that. And, but as I say, now we've had a large influx of those men who have come here to other countries, or to America and from other countries. And, at the end of the day, these men are going to be looking to date. At the end of the day, there's a huge number of American women who still want to date men. And they're kind of they are there's a large amount of single foreign men now who are here who are kind of flooding the dating market. And that, number one, is a reason to be as a woman cautious. You know, they're not, um A lot of those, I mean, a lot of those men, as I say, are bringing their misogyny, they're bringing their, a lot of times, male superiority and stuff like that, mindsets. They're bringing the, woman kind of beneath them, whatever, and a lot of these other countries don't have their women as free as a lot of us American women. They don't have, some of them still don't have the rights, and some of them still can't go to school, and some of them, and that's the norm over there. And I'm not necessarily saying anything about it, because hey, that's where they at. That's their country. Um, it's not so here in America. We Americans, period, are very freedom oriented, and we women are very freedom oriented. We're very school oriented, and even more so now with, these like 4B movements, and a lot of the Gen Z women are looking at their careers, and they're, not depending on men like things have been in the past. They're buying their own homes, they're buying their own cars, they're self-sufficient. But in my opinion, when you bring those type of men over here into our dating market, I think we women have to also be careful, because those men, and like I say, in my opinion, it seemed like the further east you go into those countries, the more those men are very, very male oriented and dominated, and they don't like, um they're not used to their women being as free and whatever as we American women are used to being, and how we as in America are used to being, period. And with that said, I think it causes a lot of issues. Um, I feel like, um, that could potentially be problems for single women, single American women. Um, there's a lot of free violence against women and oppression in many of those countries. And as I said, with these men kind of flooding America and bringing their ideology over here, it would be very silly for us to think that those men are going to come here and just drop everything they believe. No, they're bringing themselves and their mindset and their culture with them. You know what I'm saying? And many of them already have their own ideas about America anyway, you know. Um, America overall is not liked by a lot of countries because of a lot of the things that, has been done to other countries, and just the way Americans kind of are. A lot of people feel like Americans are very arrogant, Americans are very entitled, Americans are very, yeah. And so there's kind of some deep-seated unlike for us Americans. And then when we start talking specifically, we Black Americans, we get a really, really bad rap worldwide. Like we really do. There's a lot to that to go into, and that would be another video also. But a lot of times people already come here with the prejudices against we African Americans. And with that being said, it it goes into how African American women have been viewed worldwide and the stigma that we have. Now, the part that I want to bring up is the fact that a lot of that stereotype and a lot of that's been pushed for years through music and culture and all, we know a lot of that comes from our own men. Again, that's not a bash, it's just the truth. Our men have set up on many podcasts and YouTube channels, and made videos and stuff about how horrible Black women are. We're not good mothers. we're loud, we're ignorant, we are literally just used for baby mamas and, to have sex with, but don't marry. We're not worthy of respect. We're not worthy of protection. I mean, all of this stuff. And we know overall that stuff is not true. I really honestly believe there is even an agenda behind that push. They're using our men to push that stuff. But with that being the case, it's still out there. And we would be very remiss and naive to think, like I said, that those people in those other countries have not watched those things and have not heard those things and don't believe those things. I mean, we know it's not true overall about all Black women, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who do believe that stuff. They see movies and they hear songs and they hear Black women being called the B word all the time, and they hear that propaganda. And you know, I think that's why even it's easy for some of even the women who don't know us to believe the stereotypes and believe the stuff that a lot of the Black men are telling them, especially when they date them, and to have a sense of superiority. Oh, well, we still cook and we cook for our man and we take care of our man, and and we're humble and we don't talk back and we blah 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 blah, which a lot of that is bullshit because those women do the same thing. But now the consequences for them may be different, you know. But I think overall, except for, just like the culture thing, I think women pretty much are all the same in a lot of ways. I think, okay, I'll put it like this. I think we're much more similar than we are different. And I'm talking about women from even from other countries. That's just what I think and believe. This in addition to the fact that a lot of those women, the first ones they want to come and imitate is Black women. Like those are the one, like they'll they'll imitate white women to an extent, but as far as beauty and standard and attitude and all, they mimic us. They mimic us. And everybody knows this. And I won't even say they mimic us. A lot of them mimic a stereotype that has been pushed. They mimic that stereotype. And I mean, it just kind of is what it is. But to get on with the video, the point of this video, like I said, is to help women, single women who are still out there dating, to be very careful when dating a lot of these men that have come over here new, for every other reason that you would be careful as a woman to protect yourself, just in general from dating a man, period. But also because, like I'm saying, these men are coming over here with the mindsets that they already have and have grew up with. And some of it's very patriarchal, some of it is very misogynistic. So, I mean, it's a lot of the stuff that we women in America, and if you want to say feminist or whatever, that's not what I am and it's not what I'm promoting, but a lot of men, that's what they feel. Any strong woman who speaks up for herself or whatever is labeled a feminist. So if you want to say feminist, then feminist. But those are the things that a lot of women have been fighting so hard for here in America. And in a lot of ways, like we're really slowly, if we're not careful, being taken back. You got the abortion thing, you got a lot of, I mean, it's just a lot of things that if we women are not careful, we're going to lose more rights. And, I understand that, women are very inclusive and they want to be kind and sweet and everything to everybody. But even when we get to certain things such as trans rights and things like that. And you guys know I've made a couple videos about that. Um, I think in a lot of ways we women have to be careful with being so inclusive because what it's doing in the long run is it's actually taking our rights. And I don't think a lot of us realize that when we are doing all this inclusion. You want to be included and fair with everybody and everything, and you don't want to step on toes and everything. And I get it and I agree to an extent. But at the same time, I don't think people look at the fact of how, including everybody and giving everybody the same rights as women and, yo, you can be in with us. And we already are fighting for rights and have been fighting for rights. And it gives them a certain type of equality that when they get that equality, they literally almost want to push us out and say, oh, well, you don't matter anymore. That's literally what is happening. And I think we're so caught up in the fight to help people gain rights and gain equality and everything that we don't realize in a lot of ways we're damaging ourselves. We really are. And unfortunately, I think it may take a few years for more of us to kind of really open our eyes and really see exactly what is going on, the agenda that has been behind it, and that in so many ways it really never meant us any good. I'm just going to leave that right there. But at the end of the day, ladies, we have to be very careful, especially as African American women. I'm going to speak to specifically because, like I said, there has been agendas and there has been ideologies and mindsets and reputations put out here about Black American women, even I'm going to say, especially by our men. And we're very naive if we don't believe that those other people in those other countries have not been watching and have not been listening. And when they don't know us, and when they look at the fact that, oh well, man, their men are all over the internet saying that they're not even worth marrying, and they don't deserve to have protection, and they like being baby mamas and stuff. I mean, honestly and truly, and I don't mean to really sidebar, but I think I had made a video before and I included the fact that I was on a TikTok one time, just kind of sitting back in the comment section and whatever, just listening. And it was a pretty much all white panel. And there was one Black guy up there who, this guy had come from what he was saying from kind of a privileged family. I think his dad or something was like some type of a sports athlete or something. And so they were pretty privileged and everything. And that was like his circle, just pretty much all white people. And I'm so glad in a way that I was there to listen to him with the bullshit rhetoric that he was spewing about Black women, that he was admitting he didn't even grow up around, but he felt like he had the right to speak because he had a half Black parent. You know what I'm saying? But this dude literally got up there and said, I forget what the thing surrounding it was, but it was a question that had been put out, and it was talking about single moms and things like that. And something to the effect, somebody said something about, it kind of made reference to Black women or whatever. This dude actually said that many of the women in the Black American culture don't mind being baby mamas. Like they want to be baby mamas. Like that's an aspiration for them. And this is this Black man, half Black man, first of all, up here saying this about all Black women in general. And I'm saying to myself, like, dude, and I wrote that in the comments. I'm like, sir, I say, don't throw that narrative out there like that with all these white people out here listening. I absolutely said that because I'm like, Why would you say something so general about black women that they don't mind being baby mamas? They like being baby mamas. And I challenged him on that. And I said that and I'm like, why would you throw that out there? I said, that is not true at all that black women are out here aspiring to be baby mamas. Like that's not true. And one of the, I mean, people read the comments. And so one of the white ladies that was on the panel, she came back and she was like, she said, well, she said, I don't really believe that, black women are trying to be single moms and trying to be baby mamas and whatever. And he started kind of, backpedaling and stumbling over his words and trying to correct himself. And I always say, like I said, I'm so happy that I was there to hear that because I'm like, now here this black man is who's not even, in my opinion, well connected to the culture, you know, throwing a narrative out like that among all these white folks. Like, come on, dude, why would you do something like that? Well, he would do it because he don't give a shit, honestly. He would do it because he is not connected. And that's who he feels good and safe around. You know what I'm saying? If it had been an all black panel or something like that, I really don't think that he would have threw that narrative out there unless he had a bunch of other misogynistic men to agree with him. But I really, as I say, with that pertaining to the topic of what I'm talking about, these narratives are out there. And many of these people, men and women who are coming over here and have come over here, they have these mindsets about us. They have the mindset that many uh, African American women are desperate and lonely and will give up sex easy. I mean, that's the reputation that we have, the twerking, the, being called the B word and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of these men who really think that if they, maybe throw a little money or maybe take you out on a date or pull out a chair or try to really be good to you, that's something that you never had. And so you're just gonna lay back and let the legs fly open. And because they already have that mindset anyway, that unfortunately has, like I said, been put out by our men. And so these men are coming over here for, and dating many Black American women. I'm not saying all of them are disingenuous, but I'm saying a lot of them are looking at those false narratives and feeling like Black American women are easy. And so, yeah, throw a little money, pull out a chair, open a car door, be a little nice to them, whatever, and you can get you some free sex. And that's how they feel. And my message is to tell women that all women, but especially Black American women, that look, you can go back to being virginal whenever you want to. Like seriously, you can go back to being virginal. You can close up shop whenever you feel like, whatever. There is a horrible narrative out there about single women and single moms. And we know where all that stuff comes from and has been coming from. But I remember seeing, and I think it was a skit, but I remember seeing a guy who had this woman on a date. They were in the car. And he was literally arguing with her because she didn't want to have sex with him. And his premise for arguing with her is that, oh, well, you already got kids. You had sex with your baby daddies. So why are you trying to be virginal with me? Like, why you won't have sex with me? You're not a virgin. You're too old to be trying not to have sex. And like you already used up, you already been used. And it's just like, man, what a horrible, first of all, thing to say and to even think like that because she not a virgin she need to have sex with you like that. It's a lot of real, for real, true mental stuff that is going on with a lot of these men. But even that narrative, we women have to be very careful with men and those type of mindsets. For a man to think, oh, well, you ain't no virgin. Oh, well, you 30 years old. Oh, well, you 45 years old. You had sex before. Why you can't have sex with me? Really? Like, really, that's your mindset? Like, I can't say no because I've had sex before? Like, the insanity. So, like I say, as I close this video, my message is that, ladies, you can go back to, like I said, closing up the shop, keeping it closed, and being choosy and choosing very carefully who you sleep with, who you allow in your body, who you allow in your space. You know, a lot of another thing that that I want to say is a lot of these men that come over from a lot of these other different cultures and countries, a lot of those men, they think different. They don't think, woman should be telling them no and stuff like that, especially after they hear the reputation stuff. But a lot of them are very keen on violence toward women when women reject, you know? And, they already feel like American women have this arrogancy or whatever, and they feel like they need to bring them down a notch or two, whatever. So it's very, very important that women be safe at this time, all women, but especially African American women, because we know even here in America, it is very dangerous at this point to tell a man no. It's very dangerous to not give him a phone number, not give him the right phone number, all of that kind of stuff. You know, it's dangerous to say no, to say no, I want to wait, to say no, I don't want to date you, no, I don't want to give you my name, no, I don't want to smile it. Like, it's dangerous for us at this point. Women are getting punched on the street, women are getting knocked out, women are getting left places. I mean, it's dangerous. And these are American men. So imagine how some of these other men and some of these stories, I hope don't come out, but are probably going to start coming out about as more and more American women start dating these foreign men, because they're bringing their stuff with them. A lot of them are looking for opportunities. A lot of them are looking for their citizenship too. It's not just women. I heard they were interviewing a bunch of Venezuelan men, and it was like three or four single men, and they were like, yeah, they came over here on their own or whatever. And these men, one of them yelled out to the camera that he was looking. I forgot how he put it, but basically, at the end of the day, he was saying he was not only looking for some coochie, he also looking for to get married so he can get his citizenship and stay. So it's not just simple dating, ladies. It's not just simple dating. It's you better be careful. Better be careful, period, all the way around. And just be watchful and be mindful and don't be naive and don't be so caught up on, some cute guy flattering you or whatever. Because like I said before, a lot of these guys are quite handsome coming from, especially the Middle Eastern ones, I mean, it depends on what kind, you know, what you like. But a lot of these men are really the epitome of tall, dark, and handsome, and so you have to be careful. You really have to be careful and take your time and do not move too fast. Don't be giving them your home address. Don't be going out with them too quick. Um, don't be allowing them in your house and your space and all of this stuff. If they're not willing to FaceTime with you or, video chat with you for a while or talk to you on the phone. All they want to do is text, 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 and then, oh, well, when we gonna go out and you supposed to get up and go and meet them somewhere. You ain't never really truly seen them in person. You don't know if this is really the person I mean, you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful. RIP Sade Robinson. I didn't do a video about her. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've done a video, period. But I heard her story. There's also another young lady who I don't even know her name, but it was a similar situation. A African American woman. She looked like she could be uh mixed or she could just be light skinned. Um Went out with another white male. I'm not saying that only white males are doing it, but it was another white male who has chopped this woman up and dismembered her. And, I don't, like I said, I didn't read and get all the details to all of it. I think a little bit more is out about Sade Robinson because it's a little bit older at this point. This other one, I think, probably just happened a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. Uh, but they said that, that man was kind of like pushing her and, she didn't really want to date him or whatever, but she did. And look at the result. They looking for body parts still. This other young lady, same thing didn't happen. So I don't know if this is some type of ritualistic stuff. I don't know if this is just, I mean, but it's not, to me, it's not a coincidence for two black women to be chopped up, killed, and murdered, and body parts thrown apart, thrown everywhere. That's not no, that's not a coincidence to me. Um, and it's horrible and it's unfortunate, but ladies, you got to be careful. We black American women are very easy targets. Black men have been all over the internet for a long time telling the world they will not protect us because we don't deserve protection. So, yeah, it's like free reign. Yeah, sure, come kill an African American woman. Ain't nobody gonna care. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Her life don't matter. Look at Shanquella Robinson. Do you all know that Mexico just literally put a halt to her to arresting and prosecuting her, the people who did that horrible thing to her, even though they were black people? They didn't do anything. Like they literally just let it drop. America was like, oh, well, it didn't happen on our thing. And Mexico was like, oh, well, we did all we gonna do. We ain't nothing else we can do. And it's just like they're letting the ball drop. But right now, they got about three foreign men from like Europe and stuff like that who went down to Mexico and they have been unalived and um I think they're still gathering evidence and everything about them. Well, who do we have up on TV giving press conferences and stuff and cooperating not only with Europe but with America too to help find who did whatever it was to these men? But Shanquella Robinson, oh well, yeah, yeah, we don't know. But they doing everything they can to find out what happened to these three white men. I think two were from Europe, one was from America. They're cooperating. They're having news conferences. They're finding evidence. They're finding stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that too is showing just how much we black women are cared for all over the world and even in America. It's like we never get the protection. We never get the priority and it's horrible. But it's why I make these videos because I'm telling you, you got to protect yourself at this point. Our men have like literally put us up on the chopping block to say, here, world, come get her. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody care. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. And it's horrible, you know? I hope it changes. I wish it would change really fast, but it's where we are right now. And we got to protect ourselves. We got to go get some pew pews. We got to, carry things. We got to be mindful, be aware. And, like I say, don't just be thinking that these men are just all so in love with black women and they just really want to be with us. And, we got all these new options now with all these foreign men. We might, but you still got to be careful. You still got to watch yourself. And like I said, take precaution. Yeah, we are beautiful. Yeah, they probably do want to have sex with us. I mean, really, who don't? But the priority is your safety. The priority is a real, true, loving relationship because you deserve it. You deserve it as much as any other woman. And I hope we Black American women don't take that bullshit to heart that our men have spewed and the world thinks about us, and not realize that we are good quality women. We really are, despite what's out there, despite what's being said. Yes, it's bad ones. It's bad ones everywhere. But if you're still dating, and that's what I'm how I'm going to close. If you're still dating, be super careful. Don't don't go looking around and be like, oh well, black men don't want me, and the white men out here ain't shit, and the Mexican men out here just cheat on their wives and they still messing with. Okay, and now you got all these options with all these other new men that they came up. Don't let that mess go to your head. You know, I'm not saying not date them, but I'm saying be careful. Be very, very careful, because a lot of them are going on that reputation that black women are easy, black women are desperate, black women, are single baby moms and they just want a man and they looking for a man, because these men are seriously out here looking to just screw you, F you, and leave you like black men do. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for some quick, easy sex. And a lot of them, especially from a lot of these Latin countries and Hispanic men and stuff, those men be married, they be in relationships, they be full-fledged fathers and everything else. And they will slip and they will dip and they will be with you, screw you around, probably give you some type of disease or something, and go right back to their wives, and you will never see them again. You're worth more than that. You're worth so much more than that. You deserve marriage. You deserve love. You deserve loyalty. You deserve faithfulness. You deserve everything that every other woman deserves. I hope you know that. I hope you tell yourself that. I hope you tell your sisters that. That has to be the thing that is out there and that's pushed. And if they not going to push it and say whatever good about us, and black men are going to continue to bash and trash us or whatever. We got to do it for each other. We really got to do it for each other. So, you guys, I appreciate you listening so much. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit all notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and until the next video. See you next time.